everyone! My name is Cami Williams and I'm a developer advocate for Facebook Open Source. Thank you so much for joining me today in what might be, maybe, depending on how far we get today, the final episode in our series of connecting a web app to your PyTorch model using Amazon SageMaker. Like I said, my name is Cami Williams. I'm so happy that you're here and that you've joined me. I see some of you in the chat. Hi. Before we dive in, I got actually 2 DMs, which was kind of exciting, asking me the same thing, what my favorite books are, my favorite technical books or skill books, soft skill books. So I grabbed them really quick. I thought I would share. It might be helpful. If you don't care, bear with me for a minute or two, but I figured I would show you some of my favorite books. The first book that I love is called The Little Schemer. It is about the language scheme. This was my favorite book. I took a course on it in college, and essentially what you can do with Scheme is write your own language. It's definitely not the most popular language, but the reason why I love this book is not only does it teach you a lot of the concepts in really easy to consume and take in concepts, but also it includes these little cartoons and there's kind of a story that goes along with it, so it's also just a very enjoyable read. So that's The Little Schemer. This is the 4th edition. It's by Daniel P. Friedman and Matthias Felisin. I'm sorry for butchering those names, but love this book. The soft skills book that I wanted to share that I also really love is called Build Your Own Dream Network by Kelly Hoey. This is just a really good book for, I think, any of my fellow introverted software engineers who are interested in diving into building their network and what that means, how it can benefit you, but more or less the gains and losses you get from building a network. So those 2 books I love. The book that I'm currently working through and have been working through a very long time is this O'Reilly regular expressions book. I think this is probably a pain point that everybody can hit. If any of you have gone through this book, let me know. O'Reilly books are great because they just have a lot of fun exercises, and I feel like they're pretty standard for learning any language or programming concepts. So regular expressions, this is something I've been keeping on this side of my desk, and when I have time between meetings or something, I crack it open. So, yay, books. Love books. If you want any more suggestions, I'm not an avid reader, but I do have a few books that are my go-tos for things. So, thank you for bearing with me. Let's get into the actual crux of this video. So I'm just going to quickly switch over. If you've been following along, you know that I wrote a blog post about everything that we're walking through. I'll post it in the chat really quick. But this blog post is just step-by-step everything that the videos have gone through thus far. We are in the final step of building our web application. But in the first video, we deployed a PyTorch MNIST model to SageMaker. Then we connected the SageMaker endpoint to a Lambda function. In the last video, we put a REST API on top of that Lambda function through API Gateway. Today, we are going to access all of it through our web application. Woohoo! So, I also thought it might be worthwhile sharing because AWS is expensive. I lay it out in this blog post how much it costs, and we're basically on track right now without turning anything off. Just wanted to be totally transparent. My AWS bill is $25.62, and you can see it's mostly from this directory service. So this is where kind of all my data is being hosted. I really haven't done too much in between any of the videos, so what you see is what you get. Keeping something online for, this is the 4th week, I believe now, and then using it maybe an hour or 2 out of the week. This is how much AWS costs. There's definitely other things too. Oh, the link isn't working. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Actually, okay, this link sometimes takes a while to load. I just hit refresh and you can see it doesn't go right away. You might have to refresh it a couple times, maybe incognito. Sorry if it's not working for you. maybe I'll tweet it out later and then you can see it working. But in any case, back to the bill. Just wanted to show you again, August 2020, $25.62. There are certainly various ways where you can make your bill a little bit cheaper. There are also various AWS services. I always say AWS services even though it's Amazon Web Services. But there are various things in AWS where you can get credit. So for example, I'm going to try not to wake up my device. I have an Alexa. It woke up. Stop. I have a skill in the skill store, so I get $100 a month because my skill has reached a certain number of users. So that's how I keep my AWS bill relatively cheap, but $25 for an experiment. I'll let you decide if it's worth it or not. In any case, let me just overview what we've been doing. So this is Amazon SageMaker. This is where you can train, test, and deploy neural networks, aka models. So we have a notebook instance that we created. It's in service. I'll just quickly open Jupyter so you can see. So Jupyter is a kind of portal for you to host your various code files that pertain to your neural network. So for us, we have our mnist.py, which actually defines our neural network, how it's trained, how it's tested. We have our input HTML, which is where we can draw a handwritten digit to feed through our neural network. And then we have this runnable Python file where we can actually deploy our SageMaker endpoint and test our model. So if you've been watching the videos, then this will be pretty recognizable to you. I can draw this digit. So this is what was rendered by that input HTML. Hopefully it recognizes that as a 4. Run that image through our neural network, our predictor, predict what the number is. So this is what the data looks like in multidimensional array. This is what the neural network gives us back. Each index of this array represents a digit. So index 0 represents digit 0. The greatest number means the greatest confidence it is that digit. So for us it's 4, and that was correct. We got a 4. So then we go to AWS Lambda, and we look at our Lambda function. Within our Lambda function, we have this code. Hopefully all of you can see too. Hopefully the resolution is okay. If not, please let me know and I'll zoom in. But we have our Lambda function with this code where essentially we access the SageMaker library. We would take in an event from the API call, get the data from that payload, send the payload to the neural network, get a response from that neural network, decode it. If you recall what I just said, you get a 10-digit array, so then we would get the maximum of that array and then return whatever that predicted number is, meaning that index that has the maximum value. So if we test it with a hand-drawn number 3 really quick, you can see we get our response is 3. That test just looks like this, which is those that multidimensional array representative of the drawing that you just did. If you can imagine too here, if it's helpful, the 0s are white spaces and the 1s are black spaces. Okay, so then once all that is done, then we have our API gateway to make it accessible to the public. So I have a post endpoint, and essentially I just deployed this endpoint so that way it is accessible on our web client. And then jumping to the code really quick, I just made this really simple HTML JavaScript files with my REST endpoint available. So I have this send post request function. If I put in that big multi-dimensional array, then here's the website. So I'll quickly just inspect so you guys can see. So just to show that it's accessible, I'll then create an image array of that multi-dimensional array. Oops. let's see. So we'll do that. Okay, so now we have the array. Then I'm going to do send post request. Fingers crossed that this works. I really hope it does. It might have to be a string, but let's see. So we have a promise that is pending. Oh, oops, I should have done let response equal to this. And then response is fulfilled, a fulfilled promise. The value, parameter validation fail, invalid type. Okay, so it needs to be a string. So we need to keep that in mind for later. Let me just reset all of this really quick. Oops. See, we're learning together, everyone. So this needs to be a string. Something that I need to recall for the next time we do this. So now response is promise fulfilled, and we get the number 3, just like what we thought. Hopefully, again, the resolution on all of this is better, so that way you can see it. But now, the next part of what we want to do, so in our web app, in this, we have hosted our MNIST model on SageMaker. We deployed that model, we built our Lambda function, we create our REST point. Now we want to build the web app and hook up the REST point, and then we'll party. So my goal is to build a website that kind of looks similar to this GIF, where we have a canvas where you can draw handwritten digits of pi, and then when the neural network recognizes that it is a digit, it'll appear on the side if it is a digit of pi, and it's fine. It's not the most useful web app, people, so I apologize if you're like, I don't know what to do with this, but the meta goal here is to show you how you can connect all of these things together. So, kind of silly, I know, but we're just going to go with it. I'll also preface, as I did in the last video, that I am not a front-end programmer. I am not a JavaScript, HTML, CSS expert. So, out of every video, this one might be the most frustrating for some people, but we're just going to go for it and hope for the best. The IDE I'm using is Sublime. I know it's probably not the most optimal for front-end development, but hey, we're here for a fun time, not a professional time, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking a look at this input.html. Obviously, it shows up for our canvas. I want to check out the actual code, though. Can I actually do that? No. So just as an FYI, again, we are using a example from the AWS GitHub repo for SageMaker that shows us how to deploy our MNIST neural network. So that is here. So the HTML code I can find here. We just uploaded it here. Okay, as you can see, looks like we have some JavaScript to add an event listener for when the mouse moves, clearing the value, setting the value. So this is the actual code that gets the multi-dimensional array. And then we have the actual canvas here. So I'll probably do something similar. I'm just going to kind of go for it and see what happens, which again might be frustrating for you to watch, but hey, I think it would be cool. So let's get started. So I have this main.js. It might be good to have a CSS file too, so I'll just set that up right now so that way we have it. And hopefully this is big enough for all of you to see. If it's not, just let me know. Especially if the resolution isn't great. I'll try and zoom in. So I just almost always call everything main. So then I'll create a new file and I'll call it main.css. Again, just so we have it. Okay, So now in the body, I want to create my canvas. So I'm going to put it in a div so that way it is easy to move around, and I'll just call this div drawing, and then create my actual canvas. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Maybe I'll give this an ID. Sketchy. Cool. So now refreshing, it didn't show up, which is fine because HTML and CSS make sense. So let's see, let's do the body really quick. We're in the CSS file now. I called this drawing and sketchy, so drawing is a class, sketchy is an ID, and I will set the height, let's just do 400, and then the width to 500. And then drawing, we'll just do height 100%, same with body, and then width 100%, same with body. Now let's see. Funny. Okay. Why didn't it show up? See, this is probably why you should. Oh, okay. I think I need to put in line with the canvas the height and width, and probably not the pixels. So let me just. Well, first let me try not doing pixels. Maybe that'll be something. But yeah, no. So it looks like it's probably just part of the HTML tag. So I'll just do height 400, width 500. No, I don't want to purchase the license. Funny, why isn't this showing up? Oh, okay, so it is here. Maybe we need to just append some styling to it, probably. But there is a sketch pad thing there. Let's see, back to this. So they did have a style on it. Okay, so see, this is why we create our CSS. Okay, so I'll just append some regular CSS to this. So I'll keep the width and height there. Pixels and pixels. Border, I'll set at 2 pixels. Border radius, sure. 4 pixels maybe. Background color, just for fun, let's do red so we can see it. Yay! Okay, so this is our canvas. So we need to be able to draw on it. That is the JavaScript piece. So let's do that really quickly. I'm just going to make this. And then I think border color, yeah, we'll do black. No, that did not work, but that's okay. So I'll just do cyan for fun. All right, so we have this send post request function. There are a couple things that we need to do before we actually write the logic for drawing on the canvas. We need to initialize that variable. So I'm going to create a function init to initialize. I just looked at the Facebook repositories I want to contribute to, and this video shows up. Curious. Welcome. So okay, we'll do initialize, which means we want to do body onload init. Okay. So then here we want to get the actual canvas. So I'm going to do document.get element by ID. We called it sketchy. Okay. Then we want to set the context of the canvas, meaning we want to establish what the canvas will be used for. So it will be used for 2D drawings. So if canvas.getContext, then context, meaning of the canvas, will be get context of the 2D drawing. Okay. So once we have the context established, oops, I just spilled my water. Fun. Then we want to add event listeners to the different mouse clicking. So we're saying when the context is within the canvas, it'll be a 2D drawing. We want, meaning like X, Z coordinates, we want to get the actions of our mouse. So if the context is set, then we want to get mouse down, mouse up. We want to know where the mouse moves. And if we also want to make this mobile compatible, we also want to be able to grab touch. So it would be like touch, start, touch, move, I believe, for touch. I'm not going to worry too much about mobile compatibility right now because that is difficult for me to do. But we're going to just worry about mouse down, mouse move, mouse up. So for the canvas, we're adding event listeners. Event listener. The first one will be for mouse down and mouse move. And then we want to listen to the entire window in case the mouse moves off the window for mouse up. That means that the drawing is done. So add event listener, mouse up, mouse up, mouse move, mouse down. Hi Tom, thanks for joining. Okay, so we have mouse down, mouse move, mouse up. Now we want to add functions to each of those on what to do when those actions are triggered. So I'll just do we'll just do mouse down for my function. Mouse move and mouse up. As you can tell, I studied how to do this before, which is why I don't have to Google things right now. Okay, so now let's write these three functions: mouse down, mouse move, and mouse up. Mouse down. Mouse move, mouse up. So for this, we can certainly look at the code here. You can see they have a listener for mouse move. Yeah. But it essentially, what's happening here is it's getting the current position of where the mouse is and tracking that. I'm going to do something a little bit different to where, let's see, I am going to create a function that will just draw the dot based on where you're currently at. So I also want to be able to tell when the mouse is down versus when it's up. So I'm going to do global variables and call it is mouse down. I'll set it to 0 for false at first. So then is mouse down will be 1 for here. Mouse move, we'll see if it's up or down. And then when mouse is up, is mouse down will be triggered again. So then here, if is mouse down is equal to 1, then we draw, and then here we draw. And then for if the mouse is up, then you just stop drawing. So you don't trigger the draw function. Okay. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense thus far. Let's actually write the code for the draw function now. So function draw, we want to take in a couple things. First is the context. So ctx being our context, we want to get the x position on the canvas, we want to get the y position on the canvas, and then we also want to take in the size in which we want our pen to be. So if we want the pen of the canvas to be really skinny, then we can alternate that. I can also just set it as static, but it might be something I want to change based on the information we get back from the neural network. So this will be the variable I probably test the most. And so I want to make it a parameter versus static right now. Okay, so we'll do our context dot fill style, meaning fill this. And we'll set that equal to, this will just be an RGB. It can also be like a RGBA. I can also make this variable actually. I'll just do R equals 0. We'll just make it black for now, but if I want to change it later, I can. G equals 0, B equals 0, A meaning the opacity, I'll just make it completely opaque at first, RGBA plus R plus comma plus G plus comma plus A plus not comma I forgot B, RGB plus comma plus A, but we want to do A divided by 255. Boom. Boom. Okay. So we set our RGBA colors. Okay, so then once we have it filled, then we want to kind of like follow the path of where your mouse is going, which is under the begin path. I think it's the begin path function. So we're gonna start a path. I want to draw an arc. So under the following coordinates, which is the x, y, the size of the pen, starting at 0, I want it to be a circle. I want my pen dot to be a circle, not a square or a triangle or whatever, so I'm just gonna make it a circle and then set it to true. So we're drawing that arc. Close the path. Close path. And then finally fill. So in summary, we set the color, we set the size. So with the color, we set the fill style. We begin tracking the path, drawing a circle for each x, y coordinate that you touch, close the path, and we fill it. Any Flutter users? Not here. Maybe there are. If you're in the chat and use Flutter, definitely shout it out. I haven't experimented with it yet. I think I mostly just do front-end development for fun. I still definitely have to learn it though. Okay, so then for mouse down, we're just going to call this draw function. I'll get rid of this, where we'll take in the context. We still need to get the x, y coordinates, and then we need to set our pen size. So I'm going to first pen size, I'll set it to 10 for now. Just an arbitrary number. We'll see how it comes up. But then we also want to get the x coordinate and y coordinate and make that global. So I'll just do mouse x equals 0, mouse y equals 0. Okay. We're still gonna set this, so bear with me. Okay, so we have draw for mouse down. We need draw for mouse move as well. So on mouse move, it'll take in an event, and this event will help us to find where the coordinates are. So let's make that function right now then too. Yeah, okay, let me make something clear. We only need to track where the mouse is when the mouse moves, because when it clicks down, that is a secondary event to the mouse moving. So the mouse will move first, we'll update the XY position, they'll click down, and then we'll draw. So I only need to update this mouse X and mouse Y position when the mouse move event is triggered. And I am passing in this E for event to get the information from that event happening, essentially get that X and Y coordinate. Okay, so I want to get mouse position. Let's see, I'll put it actually down here under the draw function. Okay, so we'll get the mouse position, we're getting the event. So if event dot offset x, meaning it's offset on the canvas. Hi Andrew, I could really go for some Little Caesars now too. I've never had Little Caesars. Okay, get the offset x, otherwise get the layer of x, and if neither of those are available, then we are sad. But we will get mouse X and mouse Y. And that is equal to E dot offset X, event dot offset Y. Boom. Event dot layer X, event dot layer Y. It's not very good, but for $5 it's great. That I don't think anybody can deny. I'm a Domino's person myself. I really like Domino's pizza. In Seattle we have something called Mod Pizza, which is pretty good. It's like a build your own, it's kind of like Subway but for pizza. But it's pretty good. Okay, so we got the mouse position here. We set it. If you can see right here, they do some funky logic to get those things to be more accurate to the pixel dimensions of the canvas. So I'm just going to copy this and see how it goes. And hope it works. This might take some messing around with because our canvas is a little bit bigger, but we can certainly mess around with it and try. So they have this pixels array to gather all of the representative pixels in the canvas. So I'm going to do the same. And then when you get the mouse, when you call the get mouse position, it just updates it. So I'll just create a let pixels equal an empty array and clean it up for my own liking. So again, when the mouse moves, we will update what the canvas looks like. And maybe it's inappropriate to do it here, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Cool. So this probably, like I said, we're going to have to adjust because our canvas is a little bit bigger. But that's something that we can test. How big is their canvas? Is 140 and mine is 400 by 500. So what is that array? 140 for 500, 0.28. So 0.2 times 0.28 is 0.056. So I'm just gonna do that for now and see what happens. Okay. All right. So we got the mouse position. So when the mouse moves, we're just going to call that get mouse position for the event, so that way we can accurately draw. And I think that's basically it. The only other thing that we're going to want to do is like a trigger to clear the canvas or to send the contents of the canvas to the API. I suppose I should test this first and then see what happens. That's probably smart. So let me save this. Wow, if it doesn't work, that would suck, but I don't see why it shouldn't work. So I'm just gonna refresh. We have our canvas and it's kind of drawing. When I click and drag, it doesn't really work, but I can draw dots, so that's something. So I wonder if I'm missing some logic. So, okay, I initialized mouse down, mouse move, mouse up. Cool. Mouse down. If the mouse is down, set it to 1, then draw. If the mouse moves, get the current mouse position, and if it's down, also draw. And then if the mouse is up, don't draw. COVID cases popping up in real time. The animation. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Well, this is spooky, but oh wait, it kind of, I mean, canvas logic, what is it really? Maybe I'll, because I'm on a trackpad, kind of, and I don't have an actual mouse, maybe I will just do the trackpad logic really quick. It should be relatively easy, and that'll be helpful, possibly. I don't know. We can try it. So for canvas, same thing. 2 event listeners. One will be for touch start. The other will be for touch move. Touch start and touch move. So let's create those functions. So function touch start. And then function touch move. Mouse drag maybe? IDK. I don't do JavaScript. Me neither. Cassidy is on here. Maybe she knows. And then this takes an event as well. We'll want to get the touch position, which I think is... Oh, wait a second. I think... Wait a second. Am I doing something wrong? Draw. Fill style. Begin path. Size. 0. Math.py. Sword. Blah. I think I'm doing something wrong, but whatever. Something with the event, but whatever. Okay, so there's mouse down, on mouse up, mouse enter, mouse leave. Can I get a job through Facebook open source contributions at Facebook? Yes, you can. I think I have a job in my description right now, maybe. Feel free to take a look at that one. Is mouse move being called? I think mouse move is being called. Mouse move. Mouse move. See, like I'm clicking and dragging right now. So it only works on mouse down, which means mouse move. Oh wait, touch start isn't needed for your touchpad. Is not needed? That's just for tablets. That's what I thought. Your touchpad on your computer acts as a mouse. That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of this for now. And I guess I'll debug. Maybe there's something in my console that is dying. E is not defined. Cute! Oh gosh, I did E instead of event. You Looney Tune. That shouldn't actually matter, but maybe it does. Oh, it does! Wow! Woohoo! Okay. Alright, cool. So we got the drawing. This is cute. It looks pretty good. I might make it a little bit bigger. The pen, I mean. But now, basically, I want to get the pixel array that, say, this number made, and send it to my neural network when I click confirm or something. So I think in the blog post I did like enter for submit, C for clear, and D for download, meaning you could like save the image. So I think I'll just probably do the same, and I'll add this here. Enter for submit, C for clear, and D for download. Okay, so that means that in my initialize function, I want to create event listeners for the key codes. So you can look up the key codes. I wrote them down on a note, so I'm going to do that. So add an event listener for a key up using the following function. I'll just do E this time. If e.keyCode is 13, then I will do my send post request. Actually, I want a function that calls my send post request. So I'll just do function send image for now. So we'll send the image. So that is if we press enter, Otherwise, if we press C, which is key code 67, we'll clear the canvas, so I'll create a function for that. Otherwise, if the key code is 68, which is D for download, then alert cookie. And I'll figure out how to download it later. Otherwise, do nothing. Okay, so I need to do my clear canvas function, and then I need to do my send image function, and then we get to party. So I'll do that really quick. Function clear canvas. Voila. So I believe, yeah, okay. So I'll just do context dot clear 0 0 canvas dot width canvas dot height, and then also clear my pixels, my pixel variable. So let's test that really quick. So I'm drawing, I press the letter C, and it's cleared. Great. Okay, so now enter, we do send the image. So in this, I want to get the pixel array, convert it to a format that will be copacetic with my PyTorch model, and send it to my REST API. So yeah. How do I want to do this? So I probably want to get the logic that was in this, in this file again, this set value. So this gets the proper multi-dimensional array for the canvas, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get that really quick and utilize it. So let's see. It starts to set up the result for each index. Create a 28 by 28 array, then take the information from pixels, so it's essentially sizing it down. And building our result. So we're converting the drawing to that multi-dimensional array, basically, with this. I don't really care about this stuff. So I'm just gonna log what this does really quick, result, and then I'll return the result. Okay, so when I send the image, I'm going to call set value and then essentially call this send post request function. So I'll just do let data equal to set value and then send post request for the data. And this will give me that JSON. So I'll just let's see, I'm gonna create a HTML block, I guess, for me to put in the number for now. So I'll just do that. Let's see, ID equals what num, we'll call it. The number is, okay. So up here then I'll do document.getElementById. Up here, let JSON equal that. So I'm essentially creating a place to put the number that the response gives me. Yep, so then, let's see, wait, var, let num equal await this. Okay. Then I want to set the information, I forget what is it just text? I forget, let's see. How to set the number in JavaScript. Set the text of an element in JavaScript. No, that's not what I want. Text content. Okay. Yellow. Inner text? Okay. Inner text. Thank you. Plus num. Get element up 90 poo inner text. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you. Okay, so set the value, await post request, show. Hopefully that's it. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Bad. And then once that's done, I guess we'll clear the canvas. Maybe? I'm gonna log that we made it here. Console.log. Hello, and then I'm gonna console.log the num and see what happens. Whatever, let's try it. We have 8 minutes left. All right, refreshed. I'll send our favorite number. Of course, now I can't draw anything. Why? Init is not defined. Where? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Wait, what are you talking about and it is not defined? I don't understand. Why? Oh, await is only valid in an async function. Oopsies. Where did I do that? Await. Function async. Okay. Boom. Here's a beautiful number 3. Now I'm gonna hit enter. Something happened. Undefined, 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 undefined. Wow. Oh, I need to make sure it's a 0. Shoot. Okay. So see these ones? How cute they are? I need to make sure that they don't get set as undefined. They get set as a 0. Dang it. Okay. So how do I do that? I think that that's probably here. So we have it set completely as ones. Actually, it might be okay. Well, okay, let me look at this actually. So first of all, it's not formatted properly. You can see that this has only 1 bracket at the end, and then this has 3. And I believe we need 4 anyway, so I'm just gonna do boop And then I'm going to do result plus equals boop boop boop. Yes. Sorry I'm inconsistent with my semicolons. Let's try this again. Beautiful 3, hit enter, inspect. An error occurred when calling my model. Received, what does it continue to say? Received 500 from the model with message, expecting value. Yeah, it's probably because they're undefined and not 0. So you could use the filter function to make undefined and replace it with 0. Okay, that's something. Doesn't undefined translate to 0? Automatically? It doesn't? I mean, I'm gonna console.log the data. Say goodbye to this. Well, no, that's actually just giving us. So, how about I just add an or 0? So it's either 1 or 0. Right? Maybe? Enter. Ooh, okay. This is, there's a 2. I drew a 3, but it says 2. Nice. Okay. So something's up, but that's okay. Now, why didn't this thing pop up? Probably because, yeah, it's all the way down there. Okay, that's fine. So let's edit that CSS really quick. So the way I like to do it, which is probably not the most popular thing in the world, but I don't really care what you say, is I usually add it here, so I'll just like do position absolute and then top 100 or 600 pixels. Okay, 550 pixels. Boom. Then I copy that and I put it in my CSS because we're here to just get things done. So what num? Okay. Boom. So now if I draw 3 and hit enter, the number is 3. It's right here. You see it. Yay. Okay. Let's draw 4. The number is 7. That's not right, but that's okay. It's really tiny. I'm sorry, it's so tiny. Okay, so let me quickly, it said that was a 3. So that's very incorrect, as you can imagine, because we drew a 4. Best way to debug this is to take this array and then, let's see, hopefully I don't have, okay. Yeah. So then you can open a note and kind of see what it looks like. It might be hard for everyone to see, but kind of see what number it looks like that we're sending. So, and then adjust our canvas accordingly. So this is not looking so hot thus far. You can see that there's like this weird curve here when we clearly drew a 4. So the 4, or the canvas is sending a misleading number. So we'll have to adjust what that looks like. Like here's a circle here and there shouldn't be a circle. So we definitely have to adjust our canvas logic. Like that was a 4. So maybe if we just draw things really widely. That was a 3. So we'll mess with this again. We're just at time though, and we didn't finish, like, as I thought, but we're getting really close. So I think next week, now that we have everything fully connected, I'll do one more stream. I'll add it to our streaming calendar. We'll style this. We'll make the digits of pi appear as you draw them. But before we get into that, we'll adjust the canvas to make it a little bit prettier and make it kind of match up one-to-one with the images that we're drawing and the canvas that we're actually setting. So yeah, awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm happy with the progress that we've made. Like I said, I will add one more live stream to the calendar. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all next time. All right, happy Wednesday, everyone. Bye.